All my stress. Check it out. Feel the rhythm on the bass, man. I feel the rhythm on the bass,
Everybody, welcome back to Rush Hour. Chris and Bev. Hey, and we do go for it on fourth down. Hey, and don't forget we pick up that Kansas City first down. Yeah, I'm Chris Brisbane Jr., and that's my lovely co-host Beverly McCarty. Hey, we're back. Hey, Beverly, hard to believe this is week 11. We're coming up on the NFL season.
Wow.
This is week 11.
Wow. Is that hard?
Yeah, we're going into week 11. So counting the Commanders and Eagles game, that kicks off week 11. So that's
wow. It's flying by.
Yeah, it feels like the season just started. I don't want it to be over yet.
Yeah, it's halfway through for sure. More than halfway.
Yeah. And believe me, and tonight we got a special guest tonight. Hey guys, the Kentucky Spirited Chef Dana is back, so you don't want to miss it. Hey, and also her recipe for tonight is going to be linked down below. So hey, if you want to try to cook it yourself, feel free to do so. The recipe and all the ingredients are going to be listed down below, so feel free to do that. Also, we got game day picks. That's back, especially with this. There's two slate of games that me and Beverly are going to be doing our score predictions and giving our opinions on. That's later on during the show. But before we do that, we love to hear from our fans. So, yes. and we got three today, three comments today. So, comments, questions. So our first one comes from, before I even do that, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell icon, because look, you'll be in the notification squad. And trust me and Beverly like more viewers.
Oh, we would love to bring you and your friends. We would love to have everyone to get involved and comment and ask questions and just leave us some comments, whatever you like.
And we got some good ones tonight. Our first one is from @Smith. It's my bright life. I had to take my time saying that one. Ask when it comes to college football. Look, I think I watch a little bit more now. But when it comes to college football, do you like the SEC, ACC, Big 10, or Big 12? So, you want to go first, Bev, or you want me to go first?
Okay. I grew up in Kentucky. This is SEC country. I mean, there are some teams in some of the other conferences that I don't like. I won't name those, and I really do not like them. So, but there's others that I like and indifferent. But SEC is, I grew up on the SEC. Kentucky has never been that great. So they had us lately. They've been better since they've got Coach Stoops. But because of that, I really have cheered the whole SEC team. Just all of the old former SEC teams. I don't cheer for the new ones. I mean, I don't hate Texas at all. But I mean, it's, to me, I'm old school. So they're not SEC in my book. They're just not. So if I had to get technically, I would say probably Vanderbilt and Ole Miss are the ones I'm going to cheer more, because they've never been great except for when
Vandy looks good this year.
Yeah, so Vandy's not looked good since I can ever remember. So I'm cheering for them, but I will cheer for every SEC team. When it comes to playing each other, then I kind of pick which one I like better. But yeah, SEC is the conference for me. My dad, he picked. Yeah. He loved the SEC. So we talked about football together, and that's what we did.
He wasn't wrong. Your dad wasn't wrong. Like, the SEC is just, like they said on the commercial, the SEC means more. There's a lot more at stake. There, you have a lot more. Now, of course, there's been a lot of changes. A lot of teams that used to be in different conferences are now coming to the SEC. As an Alabama fan, so I'll gladly stand on that. But the SEC just is different competition, and like it feels like every game that I watch, even from starting from game one, it feels like a playoff game.
Oh yeah, definitely, it is. Every game matters.
So, and now you throw Texas into the mix, so it feels like things are starting to get even more and more tense each year.
Yeah. And you don't see the blowouts and like one team go undefeated because there are so many good teams now. And, and that's kind of brought in the competition. That's a good thing.
We're both SEC. So Beverly, Kentucky, me with Alabama. It's just there's a lot more at stake. And it just seems like teams like that we've seen, they play a lot more physical in the SEC. ACC
Yes.
depends on which teams you're talking about. But from what I've seen, the SEC football, it just seems like every game that you watch from game one to the where you get to the national championship, it's
just look at the players who came out of the SEC. I mean, Najee Harris,
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, they're ready for the NFL when they played in the SEC. It's like the transition is a little easier. Of course they hit harder because these are grown men in the NFL. But, I remember, I'm not sure what team, but I think he was Clemson, Jadeveon Clowney. No, he was South Carolina. Wow. He could put a hit on somebody. So, it's more like the NFL, easier transition. And so I think it's the most competitive conference really out there.
Hey, Beverly, look at Jahmyr Gibbs, running back from Alabama. And now look where he is with the Lions, and an unstoppable force like the Lions. So
you got people like Nick Chubb. Look at all the different running backs who have come out of the SEC and have been absolutely amazing.
It just hits different in the SEC. So not to say that the Big Ten or the other conferences aren't bad, but it's just that it just seems like the pressure is on a lot more in the SEC.
Yes. And to be fair, living in SEC country, that's usually the games that you see because that's where you live.
Yeah.
So you're whatever area that you are the most relative to is what you're going to see more of. If you live in a different area, you're going to see the other. So that plays into it as well.
Those SEC games are just fun to watch.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah.
That Auburn game, the Iron Bowl, whenever Alabama missed the field goal and
the kick six. They called it the kick six.
Kick six. I still get chills, and I've watched it like 3 or 4 times in the last.
That was such. That was a heartbreaker. I said, it's going to happen, isn't it? It's going to happen. Then,
about it man. And it happened. Yeah, that was amazing.
But hey, Auburn put up a fight. So I have to say that. I'd rather have a fight than a blowout.
Yes, exactly.
So, and our next one comes from a familiar person at Tony Blue, who's from Facebook. She's a Cowboys fan. So she's actually commented on the show below. Yep. So she said, should my Cowboys get a quarterback next season? It wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm thinking it wouldn't be a bad idea, Beverly. Like with Dak, well, in case anyone hasn't gotten to the news, Dak is having season-ending surgery today. Yeah. So he's out for the season. So with him being the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
So exactly. I would say it wouldn't be bad to take a quarterback in the draft. I'm just as a safety precaution, but something tells me that Jerry Jones isn't gonna trend towards that direction. But if it were me in charge of that organization, I would definitely take a quarterback because from what I saw in the previous game, like against the Eagles, Trey Lance wasn't playing very well.
Yeah.
Cooper. Yeah. And Cooper Rush was just stabilizing the team. Yeah. He wasn't leading the team. It was stabilizing.
Yeah, that's true.
So I say it wouldn't hurt to select the quarterback in the draft. So, but that's just me. What do you think, Bev?
Well, the problem is Dak's big contract is the biggest issue. If it were me, I would take a quarterback first round. I'll be honest. I would take one first round. I think this is a marriage between a team and a quarterback that's best broken.
It's starting to look like that.
I think Dak could be the next Geno Smith if he went somewhere else. If it was in the right place, he could be much better. And I think there's another player who might do better in that, atmosphere.
Yeah.
So I would take one, but don't take a quarterback and keep everything status quo. If you keep everything the way it is right now, just keep that. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's not going to be any different. You're going to become the Browns South because how many quarterbacks did the Browns?
That's terrible. That's terrible.
And I like the Browns as an organization. I like them. I don't like how they have done the quarterbacks.
No,
especially Baker, because
no.
But their fans are great. They deserve great things. But they do. And let me tell you, I have a lot of resentment against the Baltimore Ravens because of what happened to the Browns. So those fans, they deserve better.
Our last one comes from at Natalie Aguilar. So strange enough, I don't know Natalie, but I'm subscribed to her YouTube channel. So
awesome.
This is pretty cool hearing from someone like her. And so she basically said like favorite action movies. Okay, so I got 3. So there's straight off the bat, Terminator 2.
I like all the Terminators.
Yeah, so Terminator 2 is mine. Mission Impossible 2. As corny as people thought it was, I loved it. So
yeah.
And any James Bond movie with Pierce Brosnan.
Okay. See, I'm a Sean Connery person. I love the older. I like Sean Connery older though. Like the Rock and the Hunt for Red October type. I don't like him young. I like him old. But
but he's a little bit more mature.
The most ridiculous series of movies ever. And let me tell you, I love watching the Fast and the Furious. They're the most ridiculous movies.
Beverly, there's 9 of them.
Yeah, well, I haven't got to see the last one yet. I think there may be 10. I can't.
There's 10. 10 is on its way out next year.
Okay. See, I haven't got to see 9 yet. I don't know why, but I haven't seen it yet. There's other movies that I like. I'm never going to stop saying this because it's not exactly action movie, but I love Talladega Nights. Would you consider that action? It's comedy action. It's comedy action. I don't know. I love that movie. I like to watch it because I don't know. Every time it's on, every time I hear Pat Benatar's "We Belong Together," I think of that movie. I mean, it's always in my mind. It'll never be anything like that.
Well, I normally I'm not a huge Will Ferrell fan, but in that movie I couldn't stop laughing. Like,
I am a huge Will Ferrell fan.
He just made me laugh where he said like at the dinner table where his kids' names were Walker and Texas Ranger.
So I just want to take time to say thank you for my family, my 2 beautiful, handsome, striking sons, Walker and Texas Ranger.
So you name your kids after a TV show.
Yeah.
First of all, he wasn't on fire when he crashed the car. He kept saying, "Save me, everybody, save me, Jesus, help me." First of all, you asked Tom Cruise to help you.
That's funny.
So hey, guess what? To quote Eminem, guess who's back? Back again. We got a special guest and that is y'all been wanting her back. I can't believe like in the comments how much y'all been wanting the Kentucky Spirited Chef to come back. Golly. So but y'all in the comments gotta chill with the Kentucky Spirited Chef saying, when are we gonna get her back? When are we gonna get her back? And I had to answer one back. Just wait, be patient. So but here, the moment has arrived. So please welcome the Kentucky Spirited Chef. Hey, Chef, how's it going?
It's going wonderful. Pierce Brosnan and Sean Connery, and both of them are wonderful. Those are my favorites too. Yeah.
You can't top them. You can't top them.
You can't top them.
Yep.
I'm so glad to be back too.
Yep.
Yeah.
But hey,
Happy to
glad to have you back because hey, Chef, let's just put it this way: the comment section was begging to have you back.
Oh,
So
that's wonderful.
So, and I only could say, just wait, be patient. She'll come back.
Yep.
But so I have a question. So, hey, so Chef Dana, look, we're in November, December. These are the coldest months ever, especially going into like January, which will be next year. So, but still, we want to go to football games, but we still want to keep warm. So, give us some food that can keep us warm while we're watching these fantastic football games.
Okay, this is one of my favorite recipes. It's 2 chili cook-offs, and it takes 20 minutes to make it, and you're done. And you can use it 3 different ways. And it's called Smokehouse Brisket Chili. It's absolutely my favorite. And it takes a little longer if you're cooking your own brisket, but if you get some burn-ins from a friend and you get some brisket, I have all this nice chunked brisket here, and that's what's going in the chili instead of hamburger, and it's got a nice smoked flavor on it. It's really wonderful. And the good news about it is when you put it in here, you just dump everything in. There is no chopping other than a few green onions to top it off with. Everything is just dump it in, heat it up for 20 minutes, and I promise you, you're gonna love this chili.
Yes.
Now,
Chili's one of my favorites.
yes, well, and I'm gonna fix it 3 or 4 different ways so that depending on how you like to eat your chili, and this is a thick chili, but I can show you how to thin it out here in just a few minutes. My husband, I had to bake 2 baked potatoes to show you because my husband says, do I have to wait to eat baked potatoes? So I said, no, I'll go ahead and fix you one.
He hungry.
Feed Mike.
Yeah. So all you have to do is start with a heavy pot. This one's a small one because I made a small batch. But what I do usually is make a big pot of chili. It freezes great, and then you can just pull it out. And in fact, if you make the full recipe, it'll make 4 healthy meals for about 3 people. So you can take this to a tailgate, feed everybody, have a nice cup of chili, and something to keep warm. Okay, so we're going to put brisket in. 1.5 pounds of brisket, just chop it up. It usually falls apart if it's cooked well. Then I like to use the Bush's grilling beans, and I like the Steakhouse variety.
Oh, that sounds.
And you're going to have 2 22-ounce cans of those in there. Rotel.
Yep.
You can use the original. You can use the ones with jalapeno. It depends on how much spice you like in your chili, but I use just the regular Rotel.
I'm a spicy person, so
yes,
so
we're gonna get to that. Your salsa, I love Mateo's salsa here, and you can get all different kinds of heat level. We use the mild.
Where did you get that at? Around here?
Well, I get this around here at our Kroger store, and I've seen
so maybe
it.
most Krogers have it.
When I'm down in Jekyll Island, we stay down there for a couple of months in the winter, and I found it at Publix and at Kroger's.
Okay.
Okay, good.
All right, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take liquid smoke. Just a tiny bit of liquid smoke, 2 tablespoons, and you're going to keep it all in the same family. It's going to be hickory, and you're going to use a hickory barbecue sauce. I don't know if this comes out backwards.
Okay, yeah, it looks great.
Oh, it looks great. We can see it.
Hickory, and you're going to use 8 ounces of that and 2 tablespoons of this.
Okay.
And I use the chili. You can use any seasoning mix you want, but this one has some onions in it. I don't want to chop anything. I want to throw all this stuff in a pot.
Nice.
Heat it up for 20 minutes, and it's done.
That's great.
You can take that in a cooler. Yeah. Questions?
I will be making that this weekend.
Yes. Well, and it's really thick. As you can see, it's on this baked potato right here. and it's really thick. It's really chunky. You can add as much meat as you want, but when I pull this up, see, it stays on the spoon and it's not liquid. But if you like liquid chili, please don't add water. Add bone broth. It's got flavor to it, and don't add the beef bone broth because it messes with the flavors. Add some chicken and thin it out if you want to thin it out for a little less chili. So make it in a cup, and you can put cheese and stuff on it. And then you make it as a baked potato topping.
Look what she puts on it.
I put some cheese on it. And then I put some green onions on it. And I'm telling you, it is wonderful. The other thing you can do, hey, Bev, would you like to have a taste of this?
Oh, yeah, look.
wait.
I wish you lived a little closer.
Oh man, y'all. I was set up. That's a trick. This is a trick. I was set up.
It, just wanting to say something about it.
And then the last thing you can do is you make nachos with it. Because it's thick. It doesn't make the chips real thin. So depending on the way the people want to eat it at the tailgate, you can have it in a cup. You can have it as a baked potato, or you can have it on your nachos. So lots of ways to fix this. 20 minutes
down in chili, right?
Yes. And so all you have to do is put it all in a pot, stir it up. Make sure you stir so that it doesn't stick because it's really thick chili. 20 minutes after it's heated, everything is cooked. So you really don't have to cook anything. You don't have to boil it down so it gets thinner. It's just a really fast tasting meal. And it's won 2 chili contests.
So, Chef, this should feed multiple people at your tailgate.
Oh, yes. At least 12 big cups.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be that. I'll be making that this weekend.
All right. Let me know how
I told you we had a surprise for you.
Yeah. That what more like a letdown. You didn't get to give me any.
No, it's so good. I've been sitting here smelling it thinking, oh, man, I need to taste that.
So you just gonna leave your other co-host just completely
if I could ship it, I would.
Yeah, I just got it today. She dropped it out, and I'm gonna eat it tonight. I can't wait.
To quote Lucy from the Peanuts, I know when I've been insulted.
I know when I've been insulted. I know when I've been insulted. Good grief.
Well, sometime when we meet, I'll bring it in a cooler.
Oh, well, hey, Chef, looks like I'm going to have to book you next time you're in Georgia for my tailgate to make that.
That sounds good.
Yeah. But so if anybody really wants the recipe that Chef just made for us, that beautiful chili that looks great, hey, the recipe is going to be included down below. Also, if you want to follow her and subscribe to her YouTube channel, and all her information will be down below. So make sure to follow her, because something tells me, look, this is just the beginning, and she's only been on the show once. So
the other thing is, if they'll tell me what they'd like to learn how to make in your comments, I'll see if I can't come up with a fabulous recipe for them.
That would be perfect. So that sounds like the perfect game day food, especially with November and December. It gets cold. Everybody's looking for something to warm them up, and that seems like the perfect comfort food.
Oh yes,
it's been so fun to be with you all. I just love it.
Yeah,
thank you so much for coming on.
You know what that is? That is Kentucky on a plate.
Yes, it is. Bless your heart.
That is Kentucky. That is Kentucky on a plate, and something tells me I'm gonna have to visit Kentucky.
I told you to come
up here. Come up here.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, when her house was being built, they all called her the Muffin Lady because she makes such great desserts. If you think this is good too, you have to try the desserts. They're crazy.
Okay, so looks like Chef, I'll be taking every one of your recipes and making them for my film shoots and photo shoots. Oh, this would be hits at those. They would be coming back for more. So
you give Bev your address, And I will send you one of my special items that I make 800 of just in the last month.
Oh,
And it can be shipped.
that is a perfect present, and I will gladly accept.
All righty.
But hey, anyone that hey, these recipes, and trust me, Kentucky Spirited Chef is gonna be back, and this is only appearance number 2. So this isn't gonna be the last time you see her. As we get into getting closer into the months, especially with New Year right there. So I can't even believe we're saying New Year is actually gonna be like it's right there. But there's plenty of more food surprises that she's got, and I cannot wait. And I hope
Got a few up my sleeve for you.
Can't wait.
And I can't wait for more. And the chili is chili's one of my favorite meals.
All right. Let me know. Thanks, Chris and Bev. It's been fun being here with you again.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks so much for coming. We will see you again, Chef. See you again, Chef.
Yes,
Thank you for giving us some game day foods. Game day foods for Sunday.
That was awesome. I'm sitting here smelling it, thinking.
No, see, see what my co-host does to me, y'all. She sets me up. So that was a complete shot in the dark. And you know what? I shall have my revenge. We gotta talk about this Bengals and Ravens game. That was I think it was last Thursday.
So close. Oh my goodness, it was so close.
What in the world? The first half, it was very, very dull.
Yeah, it was mostly Bengals. The Ravens didn't look good. They didn't look good at all.
Not at all. But I'm not sure. But it seems like much like the Chiefs, the locomotion, the chugga. You got to give something to get them going. But but what is it with the Bengals went up big?
Yep. And then the Ravens fought back.
Yeah, came back.
Tied the game.
So I had some notes. Beverly. So the Ravens defense gave up multiple explosive plays.
Okay.
So and then but most of all, that explosive play was the one that Joe Burrow threw that deep pass to Jamar Chase. So they gave up that one on the second drive. So
always going to be a threat for sure. That one. You know, the one thing I noticed is that the Baltimore Ravens scored when they turned it over on downs and when they had a turnover. So they took advantage of those situations, and that made a lot of difference.
They took advantage of the takeaways. You're right. Like the takeaways, the fumbles. So, and the Ravens came back during the second half, but also here's the thing. There were so many calls that were missed.
Oh yeah. There was
including the roughing the passer call, which everyone was talking about. The roughing the passer call that did not get called. The one that was in the end zone that they're saying that was like maybe it was pass interference that didn't get called. So but it was just a whole bunch of. It was just so close. The game was so close. It felt like it was going to go to overtime.
Yeah, and it really should have gone to overtime. I think it was a poor decision on Zach Taylor's part to try to go for 2. I mean, because you're putting it was like a Dan Campbell move that kept them out of the NFC Championship game. Dan learned from that. You can't do that. And he took a risk. I think they thought, okay, what if they get the ball first? It's like a Mahomes situation with the Bucs. They're not going to get sit, so they're going to try their best to go ahead and win the game.
No, but it's not the same.
But you have to give your team the best opportunity to win. You can't put them in a spot where you've got one play and one play only, and win or lose is all in that play.
They didn't want to give the ball back to Lamar Jackson. That's it.
That's what it equaled down to. Yeah.
And here's the thing, Beverly, with the Bengals, and I wasn't with our guest, I was very cautious with the Bengals, but I can say this one thing: they were not opportunistic.
No,
they gave up some explosive plays too.
Yeah.
So Lamar, Lamar with the Steph Curry pass to Rashad Bateman. Lamar made that look way too easy. And then on top of that, they could not. Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard could not get Lamar on the ground. Yeah.
So that makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Your quarterback stays clean. They're going to eat you alive at some point.
Yeah. So I just think when it comes to the Bengals side of it, that Joe Burrow is not enough and there is not enough because look, he could throw 4 or 5 touchdowns. And still they come up short. Yeah. Ask Josh Allen, when he faces Patrick Mahomes, like in that divisional round game in 2021, he had a combined 9 touchdowns. Yeah. And he still lost. Yeah. So that's the problem is your defense has to play as well as your offense. The Bengals are the number 3 team in giving up explosive plays. Okay. Oh, that's not going to help them in the long term. And the Ravens, even though they added Tre'Davious White, who's actually injured, by the way, when they signed him. So they are the number 2 team in the NFL that give up explosive plays. Wow. That's going to play to our benefit for the Chiefs. Yeah. So and they still haven't solved that issue. Like the Ravens allowed the Steelers, who they have again coming up, to hang around. Yeah, exactly. If you allow teams to hang around, they're going to take advantage of it. Oh, yeah. They have totally surprised me this year. The Steelers have totally surprised me. The Steelers and the Chiefs face the Steelers later on down the road. So we'll see what happens with that game, especially with it being a colder game. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Rush Hour with Chris and Bev. And you got Kentucky Spirited Chef Dana that's giving you some game day recipes. So cook some of that stuff. Get it prepared. Okay, now she's gonna show it off to us. Yes, she's gonna show it off to us. So show it off. It's right there. I haven't tasted it yet, but it's so good. Oh, she's gonna go. She's gonna go in after that. After the show. So. Oh yes, definitely. But hey. It's gonna be Beverly. We got some good games coming up. So NFL Commanders and Eagles tomorrow night, Chiefs Bills Sunday, and coming up Saturday. If you watch SEC college football, you got Alabama going up against Oklahoma, and you got let's see, Georgia Bulldogs going to Tennessee. Ooh, that's a game. Can't wait. Yeah, that's a game. So you got a whole slate of games, game day food. Everybody, please enjoy the college football and just football weekend. And this has been Rush Hour with Chris and Bev, where we do go for it on 4th down and convert. We pick up that Kansas City first down. So I'm Chris Brisbane Jr. That's my lovely co-host, Beverly McCarty. Everyone have a great NFL and college football weekend. Get you some of them recipes from Kentucky Spirited Chef because that's comfort food, and I love the comfort food during the game. So everyone have a great NFL and college football weekend. Talk to you later. Peace.
All my stress.